Alright, Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, this is your brother Issachar coming back at you with another lesson. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bakak Badash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect and the 144,000 scattered across the four corners of the earth. Shalom to you. Alright, in today's lesson, we're going to go into obedience is better than sacrifice. So you have to, you have to be, you gotta be, you gotta be in order. Okay, you have to get in line, which meaning, you have to listen to what the Lord is saying. All right, and it's very important. It's very, very important because you do gotta remember that we are in a war, and in war you have to be in formation. If not, your whole team, your whole squad will look retarded. If everybody's just kind of doing their own thing. So let's get 1 Samuel chapter 15 verse 22, and let's see where the Spirit leads us, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. 1 Samuel chapter 15 verse 22. And Samuel said, had the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. Right. Alright, so obeying is better than sacrifice. So this is very, very important. This is very, very important. So obedience is better than sacrifice. So can you imagine? Here's just an example, okay? Let's just say, for an example, okay. Let's just say for an example, just for example, you're about to go to war, with your army, like let's just say back in the day, like that movie Troy, movie Gladiator, like that era, Say you're with your army, and you have, you have all these soldiers, you're on the battlefield, right across from your enemy, and instead of being in formation, listening to your general, in formation, paying attention, you got all different kinds of soldiers doing other things, Can you imagine you have once the enemy's looking at you and you guys are all messed up, Can you imagine you have one soldier just sitting down, one soldier just looking at the sky, one soldier just looking at birds, another soldier over there don't even know what the heck's going on, see? Because as a unit, as a team, okay, you have to be in formation. This is why in that movie 300, the first one, if you guys ever saw it, okay, that movie 300, the first one, okay, what happened was that one, small guy, he kind of had like a hunchback on his back. What happened? He wanted to, he wanted to join that army, but Leonidas, remember? And then he goes, raise your shield. Remember? He goes, raise your shield. And so he goes, he tried. Leonidas told him, all right, raise your shield. And then he goes, I can't use you, And then he gets all mad. He goes, hey, you can bring the guys water and stuff. But he got all mad, Then he he threw his shield down. Remember, he's like, "Mother, father," he's like, "You were wrong." Remember? All right, but that's because he couldn't listen. At least if he could just listen, say, "Okay, well, let me give the guys at least water," you could have been on the team. You know. So what's important about obeying is that what's important about obeying is that because like in an army, let's say like today's, okay, not everybody's gonna be a frontline killer. Not everybody's gonna be like a Marine. Like a Navy SEAL. You're gonna have different offices. And that's totally fine. That's why it's called a team. You're gonna have people they're more better with like being spies. You're gonna have people who's better with IT tech. So before you go in there to infiltrate an enemy, like let's say today's time now, let's take it to like today's war. All right, let's say you're trying to infiltrate like a military base. Let's say you have your frontliners, and then you have people who are like tech savvy. They can just shut down that whole building, shut down the electric grid, and then go in there. You could have your people on the planes. You could have your watchouts, your scouts. See, they might not be as strong as the frontliners, but they're very helpful. You need people to feed the soldiers. You need cooks. But hey, you're all part of the team. See, as long as you're in. See that? And so that's why it was very important, because he couldn't raise his shield, so he couldn't be in the front line. But at least Leonidas, okay, well, at least you can bring my, my men water. Remember? But he's like, no, like he got all mad. See, but hey, he could have started there, and then you never know, because he could have been bringing them water, and then like let's say, somebody needed help with, he could have came in with a spear later, I mean, because he wasn't qualified for the front line, but he could have been, helpful for a certain point, and then when his time came around, then he could have, maybe helped out in the back or whatever, So that's the thing, So the thing is, see, like right here in the truth, and not to go rambling so much, but it's very important, because like right now in this ministry, okay, we're the Akim, the brothers that are able to teach. We're all supposed to step up. We're all supposed to step up to the plate, and because we're all our future leaders, right? We're all kings and priests after the order of Melchizedek. But you have your brothers who are a little bit more experienced, but you have the other brothers who are helps. They build garments, they hold the signs, they hold the camera. That's very important, And then in time, when it's due time, it's their turn to speak, But you have to crawl before you walk. See, but you have to be at least willing to be on the team. Like, all right, well, I mean, because see, a lot of people have pride. Well, like, a lot of people say, well, I can't speak. I'm not going to hold no signs. See, so you're already coming in the bad attitude, You have to have that attitude. Well, yeah, I'm in, Whether I have to just hold posts, whether I just, hold the signs, but you're still with, you're still with the team, That's the thing. Like, are you with the Lord or not? That's the thing. Are you in? Are you out? Not just, oh yeah, well, I'm this, but I'm too good to hold the signs. And like, hey, you can't even use you, because you're already being stupid. You're already being silly. All right, the Lord already has His order. All right, but if you're willing to be in the team, then there's always a spot to put you. And in due time, the Lord, will speak through the Akim, the brothers, and find a spot. Like, hey, you know what? This bro's pretty good with this. Hey, this bro can do that. Hey, this bro has resources. Hey, this bro can get the stones. Hey, this bro can make signs. Like, this bro can make garments. Whatever, Hey, this bro can help out, to get jobs. Hey, this bro can help out get cars. Whatever, So, you find out what's going on, You give it time, but you have to have the attitude as, because you have to, that's why obedience is better than sacrifice, Because you have to be willing to obey first. You have to follow orders as a soldier first, and then you'll get your rank and all that. See, so that's why it's very important, very very important, because it's it's a unit. It's remember, the Lord is raising up His army, the 144,000, but also the elect. Okay, because not everyone's gonna be a teacher, but as long as you're willing to listen, see, because it's when you're hard-headed and you have that pride, then like you can't even be told nothing. It's like, damn, you can't even be used, because it's like, damn, you can't even be told anything, because you don't want to hear it. You have a problem with the bro, like, hey, he's saying something. You think automatically, hey, the bro is just picking on me because I'm a younger dude. Like you have a chip on your shoulder. It's like, yo, like you can't even be taught nothing because you don't even want to listen. See, so like you become like a burden. Like, hey, you know what? Like, hey, just see. So then bros have to worry about you, and it's like, yo, what the heck? Like, what's up with this bro? But at least if you're willing to listen and you're there, all right, then it's cool, because in time you'll get your position. You'll get your position. And that's very important. Let's read that one more time. 1 Samuel chapter 15 verse 22. And Samuel said, had the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. So obedience, because to obey, not just do your own thing all the time and then be like, all right, yeah, I'm sorry, my bad. Like, that shit gets old, bro. And you're gonna get people hurt. You're gonna the bros have to waste their time to say, hey, what's up with this bro? Hey, you're out of order. Like, we have to keep on focusing on you. So we have to stop what we're doing just to focus on you. It's like, yo, what's up with this dude? So you're wasting our time. Brothers are not. We can't watch the enemy, because now we have to look at you like, hey, what's up with this dude? You ready or not? See, so you can get people on the front line killed because we have to look at you like, yo, what's up? See, so that's why those of you that are too much out of order too many times, the Lord's just gonna get rid of you, because the Lord can't use you, and you're putting the others in danger. You're having the others waste their energy, because we gotta keep looking back at you like, yo, what's up with this dude? Imagine you have the enemy right in front of us. Going back to like the days of war, like the days of like the movie Troy, Gladiator. Imagine we have the enemy like 50 feet from us, and we still gotta have some soldiers looking at one brother like, yo, what's up with this dude? Like, hey, like, you ready to fight or not? So we have to take our eyes off the enemy just to look at you. That's why the Lord's gonna get rid of you. See? So that's why you have to get yourself in order and obey the Lord. Let me see here. All right, so let me see here. This is Psalms 118 and 8. Okay, so now we're going to Psalms 118 and 8. Check it out. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. Right. So what that's saying, trusting in these leaders. Okay. Trusting in these leaders. Okay. And then too, putting, just leaning on your own understanding, which is in Proverbs, right there, right above. You can see, but you want to trust in the Lord, not just, oh, well, I'm gonna trust in, the leaders a little bit and do this. No, you have to follow. You have to follow the what the Lord's saying. All right, you can't just follow the Sabbath. However, like, oh well, the Lord said keep it on the new moon, but I feel that I'm just gonna do it over here. I'm just gonna do it on Saturday because it works out for me better that way. Because I gotta go pick up my son and we got soccer practice and nah. You see how silly that's starting to sound already? All right, it's silly. Like, don't even start. See, because it's like, yo, what? You know, like, nah, cut it out. You know. You see. Let's get it real fast. Proverbs 3, chapter 3, verse 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lean not into thy own understanding. Right. So don't try to do this thing on your own. You know? So yeah, remember, if the general's in the front telling you, hey, we have to, we have to do this, we got to do that. Hey, put your shields up, shield your swords. Then, you can't just be like, oh, no, I'm going in. And everybody's like, hey, hold on. You're going to get yourself killed. See? So you have to follow orders, because imagine if the general's telling everybody, hey, hold off, and everyone's kind of standing by and you're still going in by yourself to the enemy, you're going to be left out there. You see? So that's just why you have to stay with the unit. You got to stay with the team, stay with the Lord. Because if the Lord says stop, stop. If the Lord says we're moving forward, then we're moving forward. The Lord says camp out, then you're camping out. It's that simple. Okay? Yeah. It's like, imagine if you're out somewhere and then they told you, okay, they said, okay, we're gonna camp out tonight, and you said, no, I'm gonna keep going forward. Okay, well, while the camp and the army is sleeping, and you're going forward, by the time the next day comes, you're gonna lose them, because you're gonna be over there forward by yourself, and the army's gonna be way back there. Then where are you gonna be? You're gonna be left out there, stranded in the wilderness without the Lord. See how silly that is? So that's why you have to obey. It's better than sacrifice. You see, it's just to prove that point. It's very, very important. Let's get this scripture. Psalms 118 and 6. The Lord Yahweh is on my side. I will not fear. What can man do unto me? Right. Because what these scriptures, you have a thorough understanding. You have a more solid foundation. Once you start to understand what is being said here. Not just, oh yeah, I read the book of Proverbs. No, but do you understand, baby? If you don't got no understanding, then it's no bueno. It's no good. See? That's why you have to understand this thing. Alright, because the Lord tells his elect that no weapon formed against thee shall prosper. Yes, you're going to go through some trials. Yes, you're going to, go through some hardships, ups and downs. But the Lord's going to be right there, through your trials and your tribulations. You see? Yeah. It's a very beautiful thing, Because, you know what? Let's get this other scripture. Because the Lord's not going to give you more than what you can handle. He'll give you tests, but, stuff that you can handle. You see? All right. Let me just get it real fast. Bear with me. Here we go. Okay, so let's get this scripture here. This is 1 Corinthians. Here we go. Alright, so 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. there had no temptation taken you, but such as in common to man. But the Most High Yahweh is faithful. Stop right there. Let's stop right there, baby. All right. So right there, it's the Most High is faithful, right? All right. Shoot. You know, let's get it real fast. Let's see. Let's look up that word. Faithful. Okay. Let's see. Bam. Okay. Damn. All right, so check it out. So the Most High, okay, the Most High, okay, you know, Yahweh. So that word right there, faithful, it means remaining loyal and steadfast. All right, so now let's get some, some more definitions, just to kind of bring more weight to it. You know, this because it's real. You know, because words mean stuff. That's why when you go into it, this is why the apostles encourage us, and elders on down of Great Millstones encourage us to, you know, go into that blue letter, the Hebrew and the Greek, you know. And I got to do that more myself too, you know. But, you know, you have to be willing to do it, not just say, yeah, no, do it, you know. Because when you actually do it, you're like, oh, snap, you know. Because once you understand what these words mean, it's like, oh, damn, like, dang, so that's what the Lord's talking about, you know, like, oh, dang. See? So it makes, you know, it makes more sense to you, you know? It helps convince you. So you're like, oh, man, like, that's what's going on. Okay. All right. So it's, yeah, it's very, very important, you know? So let's get some more of those words up for faithful, okay? Okay, so faithful. All right, loyal, constant, right? True, devoted, true blue. It's a true-hearted. Okay. Let's keep going down. Trusty, reliable, obedient. See, obedient. There it is. Okay, there's that. Obedient. There's that word. Cause remember how we went to obedient is better than sacrifice. There it is, right there. Okay, obedience. Okay, it's equivalent to faithful because, right there. Remember, obedience is better than sacrifice because you're going to be faithful to the Lord. Not just, all right, let me do my own thing. And the Lord's like, I can't even trust this dude because I told you to show up today at 8 a.m. and, you know, you decided to do your own thing. See? Now you threw everything off because you weren't there. I needed somebody to hold the camera. See? So that's why, right there, obedience is equivalent to faithful because you're going to be faithful. You know, you may not be no Superman, but you're faithful. At least you're willing to get in line. At least you're willing to be on the team. Remember? See, and that's very important because, yeah, there's different levels to the team, but you're all important. There's different members of the body. It's like our body. Check it out, okay? Check this out. All right, let's say, what if you lost your, your leg or something? If you lost an arm, you know, you're not going to be the same. You see? You know, you're not going to be the same at all. All right, so yeah, so here's this example. Okay, that's why Yahweh Shai, when he was teaching, he would always say, oh, here's another parable. Because when you give an example, you know, that's why, like, in definitions, it'll give you like an example, because it'll say right here, remaining loyal, steadfast, but then it'll give you like an example. Throughout his career, he remained faithful to the principles of classical art. See? Because there's that example to use it. That's why the Lord said, here's another parable, you know, to explain, like an example, you know, so you can take things that are like in art, like in our daily walk, you know, we can take things that are in our daily lives, and to show you like, oh, like this, to show you, okay, like, this is how important it is. Like, it hurts this much. Like, how much does it hurt? Like, as much as breaking your arm. Just to kind of bring like meaning to it. Like, oh damn, like, yeah, that hurts. See? So we gotta explain stuff like that. Like, oh, that, like, don't do that because that'll hurt. Like, well, how much will it hurt? Well, it will hurt as much as you breaking your arm. Like, oh damn, yeah, that's serious. Like, okay, I understand. Like, that much pain. Like, yeah, that much pain. See? So when you bring that example, you kind of bring like, it kind of brings, a little bit more like, oh damn, like, so that's what you meant. Like, okay, see? That's why those examples, those parables are useful, because not only when you break it down, you bring an example too, yeah, it's like, dang. So remember, let's go to every part of the body. So let's take our bodies, our bodies, from head to toe, our fingers, our legs, our toes, you know what I'm saying? All right, your kidneys, everything. So, if you lose one hand, and your hand gets, smashed by a tractor or whatever, you get it smashed in a car accident. Boom. Okay. Then what? Then, if you smash it, then they have to amputate it. Then you're not the same no more, you see? The hand is... Okay. The hand is, your hand is much smaller than your whole body, right? Right, obviously. But what you have to understand is that, your hand is more, your hand is more small than your body, but it's useful, right? Right. So just like if you were to, lose your hand, that's it. Because would you be the same without that hand? So that is the example there. So your hand is not, your hand is not, nothing compared to, it's not as big as your body, right? Right? But still, it is, it is a, it's important, because if you lose your hand, all right, then, your body's not, you're not going to be the same, because you can't grab things, you can probably get like now, like a robotic hand and stuff like that, but you're not the same no more, So same thing with, that's why the whole body's important, see? Because, that one member, that hand, yeah, it may not be as big as your body or your arm, or your leg, but that hand is important. Because you use it to grab stuff, to drive, if you imagine you're working on if you're on the computers, if you're working like airplanes and stuff, whatever, you have to type in those keys. Imagine you lost one hand, okay, you can still do it, but you'll be a lot slower. See? That's why every member of the team is important. Don't matter, even if you're just bringing water. All right, it don't matter if you're just a water boy, if you're a cook, if your help is to clean people's laundry, don't matter. As long as you're on the team, you're part of the body. See? All right. And this is just an FYI. For those of you, because there's going to be newcomers, There's going to be 11th hour Israelites out there. But just remember, okay? Just remember that for those of you that have been in it for a while, and I already, you guys already know what to do, okay? But just remember, if a young brother is coming in, or a young sister, because you had a Daughters of Zion and they want to listen, okay? If there's someone who's asking you a question and they're new to this thing, if they're being sincere, and they're not being stupid, all right, be patient with them. Remember, because we have 11th hour Israelites, those who are barely coming into this thing, so don't, hey, treat them right, remember to be humble, because knowledge puff it up. And it can happen, hey, that's why sometimes you gotta check yourself before you wreck yourself, baby. You feel me? All right, and that's real, we all gotta do it. It happens to all of us, okay? Sometimes you got that pride demon comes in. Hey, you gotta cut it off. It's like that. That's why you have to just remember, when those who are willing to learn, humble yourself down and, treat that person right, because remember, those are the Lord's children, who want to learn. All right, so just, remember that. Okay, you brothers out there, you guys already know what to do. All right, you guys are doing a good job out there. You guys already know. All right, but that's just a little, refresher, just kind of, stay on point. And remember, for the 11th hour Israelites that come in, hey, they got to eat too, Remember, woe unto thee that offend one of the little ones. So, just always be mindful, of the young ones, All right. So, all right. So let's go back to. All right. So let's go back to. Let's go back to 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 13. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is in common to man. Okay, but the Most High is faithful. There it is. Okay, but the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you. Here we go. Okay, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able. There it is. Okay, there's the point. Because right there, ladies and gentlemen, right there, Akim Aqua, you're not going to be tempted more than you can handle. So if you got to go to concentration camp, if you got to be separated from your family, okay, if you have to go, whatever you have to endure, because people are going to go to prisons. Remember that. These elites are going to roll. Okay, remember, it's not just all, oh yeah, I'm an Israelite, yeah, everything's cool now, Well, we're going to be straight. Remember, those who endure unto the end, because we have to still endure a lot, and much more worse times are coming. I know it's beautiful, it's nice, like hell yeah, I'm an Israelite. You're gonna get the kingdom, but remember, persecution is coming, betrayals are coming. These elites are gonna roll. Remember, it's gonna get very bad out here. All right, so you have to, keep reminding yourself. Okay, you may be one of the elect that nothing happens, and the Lord and the angels protect you, but you may be one who has to go in to a facility. Remember that. So remember, if that time happens, it doesn't mean, oh damn man, I did all this and the Lord is still gonna do me like this. No, that's just your test, and you can do it. You can handle it, mijo. You can handle it, mija. All right, remember that. So you have to really prepare yourselves. Because right now it's cool, I mean, hey, we're hearing about it, and you can go back home, you can watch TV, you got the internet, you got the prophets still out here, breaking it down to you, so you can still go get groceries, you still got running water, Remember, this society is about to shut down out here, okay, where you see how Trump is, just real fast, not to go too further in depth, you see how real fast that Trump is sending National Guards out there and militarized police out there to Washington, D.C. And he said, too, that he's going to send them to more cities, right? Right. Okay, so with that being said is, okay, you have to, you have to really, know that America is going to go in a police state. Okay, that's just the beginning. Remember, there's way more higher technology than just the National Guard. There's you have New World Order teams out here that people don't even know about. You got teams out here that are not even on the map. Not even like FBI, CIA. No, you got teams out here that are private. That work for the elites. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, hey, quick example. You guys ever seen that new movie Superman? Okay, remember like that guy who was trying to take out Superman, that bald guy, how he had that team, and they're in that skyscraper? See, but they had technology and robots. Okay, just like that. Okay, just like that, just like that. You have teams out there that are like those guys. Okay, and they're trying to help the New World Order, and they're actually going to be killing people out here. Okay, so that's just an example. If you guys haven't seen it, it's just if you did see it, just to kind of bring an example, to kind of bring forth, a little bit more meaning, to a little bit more heavier understanding to what's being said out here, Because that way you say, well, what kind of teams? What are you talking about? Well, that movie Superman is a perfect example. That new Superman movie that's in theater right now. Okay, well, remember that team that was trying to take out Superman? All right, remember like the bald guy was a boss and he had the team of robots and stuff like that? Okay, there's teams like that out there that are private. A lot of them, okay, and they're not even on the map. There's a lot, see? And they have very, very advanced technology, AI, robots, like for reals, all right? Remember, it's going to be so bad out here that the angels are going to have to step in because they have technology like that. See how like those bad guys, they has things like, AI and those robots, they're able to fly and all that. They have that stuff, jetpacks, all that. Like for reals. Iron Man suits, they're out there, you guys. They're out there, but the elites, they're waiting for the right moment, but they're going to release them. Robot dogs, drones. Brace yourselves now. All right, this ain't no just, just being paranoid and just trying to scare people. No, this is for real. All right? War is coming. It's a real deal. All right? And a lot of you out there, the 2/3, they're not going to realize it until it's too late. Then they're like, damn, I was just laughing the whole time, but that's fine. Because whether people laugh, whether people don't believe, don't mean that we're completely surrounded. We're completely surrounded by the elites and their New World Order teams and all that. Remember that, okay? Just because someone don't believe and laugh, that's fine. But that don't change the fact that we're surrounded. Remember that, okay? But those that don't believe, they're literally just going to be slaughtered out here. For reals. All right? It's kind of like when you're in war and somebody says, hey, there's a tank right there. There's a tank. Don't cross that street. There's a tank right there. And that person says, oh, there ain't no fucking tank right there. And he don't even look because he's full of pride because he has a chip on his shoulder or her. What's going to happen when they cross that street? That tank is going to blow that dude to pieces or that woman to pieces. See? So it don't matter if people say, oh, that's not, oh, that's, oh, yeah, right, you guys are liars. Oh, yeah, that ain't true. It ain't going to change the fact that, war is here. Okay? It's not going to change the fact. Remember that. Who would, let's get it from the top again. All right, then we'll end it right here. All right, let's see here. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is in common to man. All right, but the Most High Yahweh and Yahushai is faithful. Okay, remember, trustworthy. All right, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able. So the Lord's not going to put you more than what you can handle. So if you have to go through all that, like a camp or whatever, you can handle it. Hey, maybe people might even get drafted. You never know. I mean, this is the Lord's program, who knows? The Lord's way out there like that. And remember, the Lord likes drama. So the Lord could have some people get, some of the elect get built cases on them just for he can send in the angels to beat up that whole team, Yeah, you never know, It's like that. The Lord can do that. He can have a certain brother or sister get like cases put on them on purpose, but just so the Lord can activate that power, just to show out. Yeah, remember that, because you might be like, damn, why is it me? Why do I got to go to jail? Why do I got to go to camp? Maybe you're going to be activated with spiritual power, or maybe you're the ones who's going to get saved by the angels. See, you got to think of it like that, not just, oh, hey, poor me, oh man, why me? No, you got to think, hey, maybe I might be one of the ones that gets saved. Say, remember how Peter had to go to prison? The angels got him out of prison. Remember that. Okay, remember these stories. These are real stories. Okay, remember, the Lord's going to show out. So the Lord can have you in a predicament just so he can activate that spiritual power. You might be like, damn, what's that What is he doing? Well, the Lord's setting it up. Remember, our enemies have us surrounded, but the Lord and the angels have our enemies surrounded. Remember, it's going to be very exciting out there, ladies and gentlemen. Who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape. Right. Okay, right there. Will make a way to escape. See? So make a way to escape is what? A standard. Okay, Isaiah 59:19. Okay, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shai, shall lift up a standard. So, a way to take flight, the Lord's going to activate spiritual power on His 144,000. Also take a way to escape, because the angels can get out of there and bust you out, have you going through a portal, beam you up into a ship, like King David. When King David was surrounded by the heathen, all right, he was about, they were about to get him. What happened? The Lord beamed him up into a spaceship and relocated him. Yep, remember that. So just because your back's against the wall and you think, oh, damn, the enemy has me cornered, don't mean that the enemy got you. Remember that. The Lord can open up portals. The Lord can do a whole lot. A whole lot, a whole lot. Remember, all right? Don't put the Lord in the box. Remember, our enemies, yeah, they got a little power, but they're nothing compared to Yahweh Bashim Shai and the angels. All right? Who will not suffer you to be tempted above that you are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape. Right, so He's going to make a way for you to get out of it, if you're part of the hopeful elect, that ye may be able to bear it. Right, because you can handle it. If you're going through it, you can handle it. Remember, it's not just like, damn, catching hell. Remember the scriptures. Who's putting you through that hell? The Lord. The Lord can control it. Okay, it's like an oven. Like, damn, this shit's too hot. I'm burning my tortillas. I'm burning my eggs. Okay, well, turn the fire down a little bit. You have it on too high. The Lord controls that. He controls the heat, baby. Oh, yeah. Remember that. So, hey, remember who it's coming from. All right, did you call on the name? When you catch your hell, did you call on the names? Or did you just say, oh, man, this is fucked up. Oh, man, start complaining and murmuring. Call on those names. That's why it's very important. Call on the names. All right, one more time. When you go through your stuff, call on the names. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right, so with that, stay prayed up. Stay strong out there. Stay in the spirit. On your feet, soldier. Shalom.